Alright, so stuffed up the first one, so let's take two. What we have here is had a really tough game and can use some help and some feedback versus 200 AP on Protoss, which is rare in D3. I would agree. I was really far ahead but struggled very hard to close the game. I only won because I was super greedy early, which is true. I checked the stats, allowed me to play recklessly and remax several times, had to pull out all the stops with scouting, multiple tech switches, multiple sides, tech switches, burrow, etc. Changelings won with the game. That's a first for me. Changelings are so underrated. So underrated. It is so critical to know where your opponent's army is in order to combat them. So 100% they are not utilized enough. They're not utilized enough in any league, even at the pro league as far as I'm concerned. Macro dropped in, stopped injecting because I was too focused on the front. That is very true. Oversaturated bases and idle workers, forgot to make upgrades, ran through choke points, messed up my opening build, dance and storm a lot. Here's where I'm having trouble lately. Naturally, I want to pull away for a second, but it always feels like when I re-engage, there's still more storm energy. Ended up saying I'll throw a bunch of units at them to burn storms and just win with money this game. What are you guys building versus Storm Protoss? Lurkers. Honestly, Lurkers with Hive upgrades do surprisingly well. I might open with like melee Carapace and then go into ranged and just pump into range because 3+ lurkers are pretty good. If the Protoss is attacking your lurkers, it's already not a good thing to do, and because their damage is so high on all their hits, like the armor, I feel like it probably wouldn't change much over the course of like a handful of hits from an immortal versus Archons, blah 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 blah. So I don't think that the armor's that big of a deal, but definitely the attack difference would be. So with lurkers with range, a Protoss that's heavily reliant on storm, they're not really going to know how to engage. They might come up and throw a storm down. That's fine. You can move out of the way, but they're probably going to lose the Templar. If you have range, they're probably going to lose the Templar every time they do this. Once the Templars are gone, there's no meat to the army that can really survive a full swarm, and that's kind of when you jump on it. When you see a big bunch of Templar get nuked, that's your cue to go for it. So bearing in mind all that, I checked the stats already. We got to an insane amount of drones very quickly, I feel. We got to 60 at like 5 minutes 30, something like that. And we ran right up to 90. We had a pretty bad engage here. But we're still floating a ton of lava. The injects were horrid. It was like 13% efficiency, but we're still floating a ton of lava. So do we have a lot of hatcheries? Is that why? Didn't really have a lot of hatcheries either. Our injects were obviously good enough at the start, and we never really spent the money. I wonder if the inject efficiency, does that measure your actual inject from inject time, or does it just measure like how long the lava is sitting there? Because if we have a look at the stats, like some lava lasted it almost the entire game. Anyway, all that being said, let's hop in and have a look. Hopefully you guys can hear the sound. Going for 15-15. Is it a 15 macro or just a 15? It's a 15 macro, obviously. What's... all pretty standard at this stage. Nexus before core. Oh, it's a forge opening. Okay. If it's a forge opening, we probably needed to be a bit more aware of where this probe went. I think he disappeared at some stage. So the probe's here. We saw the forge. Alright. The probe probably could have got away with coming into the corner here and laying down some cannons and would have been over for us. So luckily we're okay. Yeah, we checked it anyway, which is good. We're about to have our pool go, which means 2 queens should be popping up. The delay getting this hatchery down, I think you're honestly probably better off getting like... because this went down a good like 5-10 seconds late. Oh, only like a couple of seconds late. But either way, I feel like you probably would be better off, because this is delaying the queen anyway, you probably would be better off just going like 15-15, doing the extractor trick, and then taking the hatchery with the 15th drone that comes out. And honestly, I don't think it's going to change much. Queen. couple seconds late as well. So we're talking about 16 seconds late for the Queen, which if you're playing against a Terran, that could be do or die. If they're one basing you, you could already be in trouble. We're taking the third at a really good time. I wonder if we're going to get Ling speed at all. We're already floating a lot of lava. We do get Ling speed, which is great. So you got hatcheries on 1. So we hear the noise for the Queen. We should be cycling straight to our base, injecting. Nothing else that is happening right now is as important as getting that happening. And so the fact that we didn't have a key to go straight over there, I don't care if you want to use camera hotkeys. I literally use space. Works well for me. If you want to be a purist, absolutely go for the keys. Your opponent, though, didn't bother making any extra probes until the Nexus was done, it looks like, which is going to hamper his 2-gate forged cannon core. Nothing in the wall as well. Like, you could just walk in here and kill him. But this Overlord, because this Overlord doesn't really see anything, you don't know what his gas counts are right now. At 3 minutes, you should probably be already in here. You're going there anyway, but you're going such a long way around. It's going to be like 4 minutes before this bad boy gets in there. What was I saying? So we're spending our lava now a little bit better, but if your opponent is quicker with making probes and he realizes that he doesn't need to wait, then you might be in trouble as you start getting up, because you'll find some people are really, really good at making workers just constantly, and then they don't know what to do with it, and then other people kind of just sit on an incredibly low, really bad worker count and kind of make the game happen with that. It's literally a Zealot. Yeah, we've got the Stargate coming down. I don't think I noticed any Stargate units. We've got the third, but we haven't got a third Queen. No, we do have a third Queen. She really should be over there instead of sitting here. Just walk her over. She should be ready to go when this is ready to go. Yeah, see, look at this. So we're already 20 drones ahead, right? 20 workers ahead. Huge. The Spore's a little late, but for some reason, he's not using the Stargate anyway. Like, this is nonsense. Oh, well, here we go. We've got an Oracle. So this is a nonsense build from your opponent, which is fine. It's diamond. This is how it's gonna be. What is he even doing with his 200 APM? Yeah, he's moving around a lot. He's keeping busy. Again, APM doesn't win games. Units win games, and economy wins games. I don't mind the double inject. I do that myself as well. Like, I keep the Queen unless I need to have the Queens on the roaming the map. The Queens can just sit where they are. There's no harm in it, honestly. And creep spread, whatever. Like, none of that stuff. You're not going to lose the game because of creep spread here when you actually have a unit sort of ready for vision. You have an Overlord here that's getting information on how much he has at his main, at his natural, sorry. So this is really good information to have. So whether or not you notice this, but this is good information because this is not saturated yet. We're 5 minutes in, your opponent does not even have 2 base saturation. He should be well and truly saturated by now and pumping gateways or something. Oracle comes in. Spore, 2 Queens. He's lost it. Easy hold. You lost the Overlord, but again, whether or not we noticed what happened there is a different story. We're oversaturated here, and let's have a look why, right? I guarantee we go back. We're just making drones and railing them. So the way that this would work for me, especially since you're probably floating, oh, you were floating a ton of lava, I bet. It's... you're kind of spending them sporadically. So, you know you've got a bunch of lava in production coming for the drones, right? What I'd be doing here is grabbing that when they're at like 17 or 15, 16, something like that, grabbing this all, trying to avoid grabbing the Queen, because the Queen will take precedence. Maybe you can just grab here and just go BE, BE. Real quick, take both of the gases. And then my next move is to go 1 SDDD, right click them onto the gas, 1 SDDD, and right click them onto the gas. And that way you'll get a lot less of this oversaturation problem, because your work account's really good, but you're not gaining as much income from it as you should be. We're taking a macro hatch. We have, from what I understand, we have no tech. We literally have lings. So if this guy was doing any kind of like zealot push, immortal push, anything, if this guy was doing anything at all, you have 5 queens and 4 lings to defend you at 5 minutes. It's very risky. You are going to start facing, as you get higher, you're going to face opponents who are not going to sit around and wait for you to get into this tech. They're going to try and kill you a lot earlier. Here we're going to lose another oracle. You pulled the drones, like everything was good. If you're having trouble remembering to go back and use your upgrades, you can always put them on your hatchery key. Just a little thing like that. We're oversaturated. We're looking at this base right now. Boom, we fix it. That's fantastic. We're still 2 drones oversaturated. We could just probably put them here to get this moving. Or bring them over here and get this fully saturated. Because your opponent is slowly starting to close that gap. He's taken a third because we didn't have an overlord here instead, so it'd be nice to have this ling is just out of vision as well, which is a real shame. What happened here? Something got attacked. This ling can't see this, which is a real shame, because this would tell you what's going on, tell you there's a bit of a ramp up. I think at this stage you need to decide on tech. Now, can we hear? I don't know how obvious it's going to be for you guys at home. We're going into Hydralisks, which are risky as hell. I didn't really hear the evolution chambers pop. I don't know if it's supposed to be if it's a subtle noise intentionally, or whether it should be louder, but I didn't really hear them pop. We've got the Hydralisk den, we should be going bang bang. When we get a Hydralisk den, especially versus Protoss, this is really integral, is getting straight into a pit as well, so we can go into the hive at the same time. So the Hydralisk den and the pit go down together. Where are we going? No. The Hydralisk den. No, I swear I pressed V. Hydralisk den is 29 seconds. The infestation pit's 36. Drop these down together, and they'll pop together. You can take your you can take your hive, and then you can drop your lurker den all at the same time, right? Especially if you're going to play greedy like this, lurkers are just going to straight up win your games. This is very greedy, and I think you might start hitting a wall in a couple of 100 MMR or 300-400 MMR, something like that, when your opponents start being more aggressive. We got our upgrades. It wasn't that bad, unless we forget them like later on. Those are some intense wings on the lings. I don't think I've appreciated. Oh, that's actually sick. Those Hydra look so good. Is it Primal Hydra? Maybe my graphics have been turned up. Sometimes when I come back to the game after a while, I feel like my settings have been changed. Okay, that's what we got attacked by. We got attacked by the Scouting Phoenix. He's seen this. You've seen the third base. Look at the supply though. You are twice as far. You have twice as much stuff as him. He's floating a ton of gas. It's going to be 8 minutes before he even has like charge and +1. +1 and charge are like two of the most simple and great things that a Protoss can do, because they allow them to 2-shot lings instead of 3-shot. You're getting upgrades. Everything's all good. Yeah, it's just really. This is a really disjointed. So he's got 200 APM, but he has no idea what he's really doing. Oh no, wait, is that level 2? No, he's researching level 1. So he's got no upgrades, nothing but a handful of like zealots and adepts. At 7:30, you could be maxed on roaches by now. If you stopped at 66 drones, you could be maxed on roaches about now and moving across the map. Huge difference in how your games plan out when that's what's happening. We don't really want to take this attack. You're not going to get any value here. Boom. We see what he's got, which is good. It's just a bunch of zealots. And you already got Hydralisk, so Hydralisk's in a big enough blob. If you see him coming across, yeah, he's not really going to have much of a chance. This is good here, really good stuff here. I'd love to see like an Overlord here, an Overlord here, maybe here. This is good though, this is good vision, this is good vision. We see the Zealots come up. They're not going to get... Sure, they're not going to get anything done here. How many gateways is he on? 7 gateways. I feel like he took a really bad fight here, so I'm wondering what happened. The drones didn't die, so obviously the Hydralisks took the majority of the hit. But we're just macroing up. We're maxed. When you're maxed like this, pretty much maxed, what you should be aiming to do, also this is unfortunate here, we're looking at this spot, right? Anytime you look at the screen, you should be eyeballing this kind of stuff, looking for these to try and fix, so you can quickly fix this issue, right? Put these guys on gas, put one over here, just a little bit of extra gas, because your late game army is very gas heavy. I don't mind the creep spread being what it is. I think the Overlord should just try and move out a little bit further. I think this vision is great, and this vision is great. There's a lot of really good things happening here. But when you're maxed out, your goal, and this is why I like changelings as well, your goal is finding your opponent's army, because if he's on the map, so say your opponent's army's here, and you move out and go attack him, surely you probably crush a base or two. You might even win the game fully with a base trade, but the potential for him to just rush in and absolutely crush you very, very fast is also there, right? We got our 1-1, which is okay, because the Protoss is only just finishing his +1 as well. He's just about to finish Lance. Like, a lot of things aren't happening for the Protoss side here. Being 100 supply down is incredible. What was I saying? So yeah, I think knowing where your opponent's army is gives you the power, gives you map control to be able to push out. So if you know his army's at home, if you had a changeling here right now and you're like, that's literally all he has, we're going for it. You know what I mean? But the risk of you moving out means that, or you're moving out anyway, but the risk of you the risk of you moving out means that he, also this is bad. Don't send the lings first, because you're telegraphing that you're attacking, right? So what could be good here is the lings go here, the Hydras actually go here, and then when this army moves over to here, you'll see what he has with some sacrificial lings, and you could almost probably catch him on the ramp with the Hydralisks and then call it a day. So how you engage here is going to be really important, but we're telegraphing that we're attacking here, which is really risky. But so far, Protoss has lost a lot of shit. Even with the 3 Colossus, like, this is going to be a rough fight. He's lost the base. 100% he's lost the base. He's going to lose a bunch of probes. We don't want to really chase the Colossus either. So I think it can't be stated hard enough how much these things slaughter Hydralisks, right? We're talking, because it's got +1, we're talking 17 damage. So that's, 34 damage per swipe. With 3 of these, they will actually almost kill a Hydralisk. Straight up. And so when your Hydralisks are also gathered up like this, boom, that's an easy win. So now we are officially 100+ supply ahead of our opponent. You could probably back off at this stage. Taking the 3rd base out is huge. Back off at this stage. Reassess your economy. Fix this gas up. Fix this gas up. Then we head into lurkers, get our upgrades, fix this up here. And then we come back with just like 30 lurkers and just burrow them and end the game. Yeah, so you lost a lot of stuff, but your economy has been miles ahead. You are doubling his economy. So you can afford to lose this. You can afford to lose all of this. Easy. And so the other thing you can do as well is when he's going like Colossus, he's expecting you to keep going Hydra. You could just switch into roaches like that and just walk in with a full head of roaches and just slaughter him. He's in a game losing position already. If this was me as a Protoss, I'd be like, okay, we're not winning this one. Unless you've got an ace in the hole, like he's got Dark Templar or something. He's only getting stormed 10 minutes in. Like, he should have anticipated this happening. He would have seen your Hydralisks earlier and just failed to actually act on it? Is he at least... Yeah, he's at least boosting it, right? Didn't get blink. He's got multiple robo. He's got a bunch of gateways. He has potential here to do a lot, but he can't afford it now that he's lost that base. And then we're over here. So we're attacking this base, right? He just happens to be looking at this at the time. So a clever tactic you can do in something like this, you've taken out your opponent's third base. The third base in a lot of these games is like a bit of a power boost or a power play. The third base just allows you so much more economy to do whatever you really want to do, and you've taken that off him and also killed a bunch of his army. Right now your army's 3 times the value of his, so simple there. So what you could do here, you know that when you show this, he's going to head over to defend it, and then you could bring the Hydras up here and just kill this base again, and then he loses 2 bases and he's just miles behind. Because you don't want to lose the Hydralisks to this. We see the Templar, but ironically he hasn't got Storm yet, right? He just got enough energy for it, but he hasn't got Storm yet either. So if you'd have actually split and gone here, gone to this base and this base, you could have killed 2 bases at the same time. Man, that's loud. Why is that so loud? Maybe it's not that one. Maybe it's the other one. There we go. Hopefully that's better. So he's starving, right? He's using all of his gas to make Templar and Archons, which are bad. Like he's better off making pure Templar here. Colossus will hold the ground. Stalkers and Zealots will hold the ground for a little bit. You're taking the entire map behind this as well, right? Like, this game is already over. I don't want to cheat and figure out where you're at, but we need to also be coming back. In these moments where we're not fighting, just come back to your bases real quick. Do your injects. Stack up all your injects. Shift Q as many injects as you want, and then we can get into the fancy stuff, right? Like fixing our thing. You are the aggressor here. You have map control, which means you decide the ticking of your macro. You decide your macro cycle, right? It's not like he's attacking you and you're like, I'm not going to macro right now because things are happening. You have been the aggressor. That means that you should be using moments like this when you're moving around the army to go back to your bases, quickly move drones around. Just grab like that. And there, we're sorted, and you didn't even miss the fight. You know what I mean? While that's happening, you just obviously keep your eyes down here, and you're looking for, obviously, a fight. So the storms, we don't want to wear the storms, and that's the worst mistake you can make. I love this as when I play Protoss, I'm a bit of a sadist, so when they commit, I always call a storm an anti-committing tool, because when your opponent looks at a fight and they go, that's it, I'm going for it and I'm going to try and take this now, these 2 storms here just completely reverted that. What these storms do, they mean that if you want to come into here and try and take out my Templar, you are going to lose all of these units straight up, right? You have dropped like 30 Hydralisks in the space of seconds because of that committing. Floating 42 lava, we're being chased away. 64 Lings ain't it. We should have gone to Roach Warren earlier. Or Lurkaden. Because you have a think about this, right? This is how I usually win most of my games versus Protoss. You know where his army is because you're using Changelings. That's the assumption we're going to make. He's desperately trying to get these 2 bases up, right? Look at his economy. It is suffering. You are double his economy still after all this time, right? So you know where his army is based because you have Changelings. His army isn't that scary, but you also don't want to fight it with Hydralisks, so we just morph like 10 Lurkers, and we roll up to here, and we burrow, and then boom, we are now in the base. We've taken out the pylon, we've taken out the forge, the gateways very quickly, and now we have so much control to just literally rally Lings into his main or into his natural. Every time he leaves his base, obviously the Changelings give you the vision, every time he leaves his base, you are rallying Lings into there. and just letting them go absolutely ham. So we're on the back foot here. We're still probably floating 20 lava. Yep, we are. We've got a ton of lings. We've got the hive on board, but we're not getting our upgrades here, which kind of sucks. And we are finally getting an Ultralisk Cavern, Roach Warren, a third Evo, not really necessary. Ultralisk Cavern, no Lurker then. A Viper, great tool. These spines, with the amount of money you're floating, these spines are really good. I really appreciate this. I just wish you had a... Oh, you do have a spore because of the oracles, yes. I'd love to see a spore here, just in case DTs, because DT run-bys are absolutely tragic in cases like this. These lings are going to get in. These don't even have an attack upgrade, but they're going to shred this base. Even with the storm, like, you lose a lot of lings, but this dude's dead. I wonder at what point he leaves. Maybe you don't quite realize it, but you are miles ahead here, and I think that's one of the things you need to realize is just like, you are ahead in every capacity here. He has half your income. You've lost 3,000 more units, right? 3,000 more minerals, but you have 5,000 minerals in the bank, and you've been doubling his income all game. You can afford to actually take like a 2-to-1 trade, and you're not even taking that bad of a trade. You're taking like a 1 to 1.5 or something, 1.25 or something. You have bases on his side of the map to deny him taking them, and to deny vision, to give you vision, sorry. Like, this guy has not got a leg to stand on. The only issue is you are suffering from lack of gas because you never took these. You never took these, and honestly, I like 10 gases when I'm going into a late game with Burst Protoss. We have all the drones here for that economy. We are oversaturated probably on 3 bases at least. Oh, just 2 bases. But even still, these drones here could easily be BE, and then rally them into the gases, or take these. Actually, this would be quicker. So the little thing is, this would be quicker, is to actually take these, BE, build your extractors, come here, grab just a handful there. So when you're at like 16 out of 8, obviously you have 8 here, you have 8 here. It makes the maths easy, right? So you can go here, right click, shift click 2 out, 3 into there, 3 into there, and then you're done. Now you know that gas is taken care of. It's a couple of seconds to do, but it's a huge change in the way your army swings, because you can't afford to keep hoping that he's going to let you live. Like, if what happens if he just goes like 10 Colossus? Right? He goes 10 Colossus with a bunch of Storm and Archons. Lings are not going to cut it. You've got Ultralisk coming, which is really good. You have some Roaches coming, which is really good though. So things are looking up. We're getting there. I'd love to have seen some transfuses. The Queen kind of just stood there idly and watched. Either way, this dude's dead. He just doesn't realize it yet. We're holding our time. We're waiting for more units to come out, which is more than acceptable, honestly. And now that we have what we need, we don't even have Roach speed, I don't believe. I think I saw the Roach. Where's that? Is it just the same Viper? Where is the Roach Warren? Yeah. We don't have Roach speed. We've got a bunch of Overseers, which is really good. I wish we were dropping Changelings. We see this as well in the middle of the map. That would be nice to take out. He came across, he killed a base, but he's still half your income. He's still miles behind. He's almost half your supply still. That attack did nothing. He thinks he's won by going home. He doesn't even know. Like, look at this. Look at his vision. He doesn't know you've got this. He doesn't know you've got that. He saw this base, killed a base that you were barely using, and left. Right? He's like, that'll even it up. But what it doesn't account for is this. And this. This difference in lost resources is almost matched to how much minerals you have. So you could spend like 6,000 minerals on lings and probably still win this game. Even though he's got like Colossus Storm. Ultralisks are surely going to come in and end this. I'm curious to what the Viper does, because the Viper's a really interesting unit. Never seems to get used well. Oh, we got a Blinding Cloud, which is pretty sick actually. And then it died, right? Yeah, it died. Zealots came in here at the same time. This is why it's really good to have spare queens on the outer bases, so we can just, like, 1 or 2 transfuses sometimes will help this. I actually like to clump up my spines and spores here so they can stop each other getting surrounded, because obviously this having like 6 zealots on a spine is way worse than having like 3 zealots on a spine. It just gives them a lot more longevity. I think at this stage you just run in and win this. We let this die. We know we're ahead by miles. We fixed the drones. We fixed the drones here but didn't fix them any other time, which is an interesting choice, but here we are. We're going to come home. We're going to clean this up. And then we're going to win the game because you're still almost double his supply. We're not spending our lava, which is a bit concerning. Like, we have... This is the problem with, like, having a gas bottleneck, is you feel like, I need gas, but you're not fixing it actively, you know what I mean? Like, you've got drones here that are mining minerals, but you don't need minerals right now. You need gas. You need to switch off and understand, like this as well. You need to switch off and understand you are making way too much money already. You have too much money in the bank. It's gas time. Here we go. There we go. That's it. This fight should well and truly end the game. Roach speed or not. Upgrades or not. Like, you can eat the storms with Ultralisks, I think, when your opponent's army is literally like half your size. And he's cowering, right? He's taking this base again. Oh, you know what? This combination of units with the... I didn't see the Immortals in there. That's actually pretty brutal. One thing you could do here is go into Aspire, Great Aspire, and obviously get Broodlords. They help a lot in this situation, but I think our gas income, not being aware of that, our creep spread's still pretty good as well. Like, he never really cleaned much of it up. Clean this base up. I wonder how much longer this goes for. About to have a ton of roaches pop. Are we gonna move them or? Yeah, good. We were really quick there, which is nice. So what I tend to do, if I have units popping and I want them to engage straight away, you can right-click on the eggs, left-click on the eggs, sorry, control-click on the eggs, and then right-click them to the hatchery. They'll get to the hatchery when they pop, and then they'll just start attacking. He's taking out the Ultralisk Cavern, even though Ultralisks aren't really doing too much at the moment. I think a transition to Lurkers a lot early would have definitely helped you. We're letting him get back into the game because of these little run-bys. So with the money you've got, feel free to just drop a whole bunch of spines, fix your gases up. Fix your gases up. Right? Because our gas economy right now sucks. We're finally even with him on money. We took these gases and then never did anything with them. So we're hurting ourselves a lot by not just working this out. Surely he can see the creep spread there, but he's just choosing to ignore it. Alright, we're seeing him posture up on the map. Your drone rally here gave away the position of this, even though he could see the creep spread. The drone rally gave it away. And now we're losing the base. Which is fine. It's a giveaway base. Right? But what's not giveaway is the gas. Yes, yes, yes. I can't believe we've left this for so long. We're taking this base back, but we've still got a zealot down here, which is a problem. We're moving out. Like, this many drones can probably take him, honestly. But yeah, the Lings will come in and clean it up. No issues. And then we catch the next run by, which is really good. As we can see here, he is still struggling to stay alive. We're trading now at a 1-to-2 rate and still well and truly in this game simply because of that. I would love to see, obviously, that. Because all it's going to take is some really good storms and like some really good positioning from him. How many Templars he got? He's literally got the one. But this army fucking wrecks Ultralisks and Lings. And so you're depending here on him just taking a really bad fight. Either he splits his army up wide enough that you can get the jump on it, or so what we, yeah, that's it. We don't want to run in like that. We want to see if he'll come up. No, get us around, get us around. Fungal, sick. That's it. That's all it takes. Game over. The roach speed is hurting you a lot. The Lings, yeah, we want to wrap around. That's sweet as well. You could even hold position them. That way the Immortals are less likely to push through. But this is over. Even with everything that's going on here, you are so far ahead in this game for ages. I think it'd be honestly worth researching Neuroparasite in this situation. If you took these 3 Immortals off him, imagine how quickly this fight changes. You actually win the game right now if you have these 3 Immortals. The Zealots will not get past the Roaches. The Stalker can't get past the Roaches. We win the game. Now, what are we doing behind this? 30 Lings. The Lings are not really the answer here that we want them to be. I wish we were going to burrow these instead of letting them die. Another run by. This lack of gas income is killing you really bad. Really bad. So, we want to take this base off him. We want to bring him home with this, right? We've got plenty of spines there to deal with that. So the idea of this would be to bring him home. Oh, and then we finally get in. Yeah, and this is where it's going to start really falling apart for the Protoss. To have to clean all this up. We don't want to really engage his army with this. We just want to keep running around in circles. And again, you can use this time to literally fix just, like these gases got bummed as well. Like this gas is not working properly. We still don't have roach speed. We have the capacity to be higher in upgrades, obviously. But this gas income is killing us. There's only so much that Lings can do here. How's our trades going? We're still 10k behind, which is fine, but this is starting to dwindle, right? This is good. It's only a handful of Zealots. We can handle it. And some probes. The Lings came in again. That's great. Were they burrowed? Oh. Really good play here. This kind of stuff is always going to make it difficult for your opponent to do what they need to do. Because he was coming to help, and then the Lings burrowed, and he's like, well, I'm closer here, I can sort this out. But realistically, he can't. He probably doesn't even realize that you had burrowed Lings. We're going to unburrow these as soon as he comes. Yeah, so we can see, right, him moving away. Have these even got energy for storms? Not really. So they're about to have energy for storms. We really need to close this out. Beautiful. Surely we're talking about game over now. Yeah. There's going to be GG soon. Very soon. The Changelings got in there, blocked him off. That many Zealots won't stop this anyway. There we go, we got him. That's a hell of a game, dude. That's a hell of a game. That's a lot of work for a diamond player to be doing all that. Instead of just making your gases. Taking your gases and using them. I think being just a little bit more aware of your economy. When you're going around and doing your injects, my guy, you really need to pay attention to this number. This needs to be a big threat. When you see this much happening, these bases as well, spines on them. Because as you saw, him just run buying this base cost you so many drones, it cost you so much lava, it cost you the hatchery. Everything went downhill really fast from losing just one base, right? Your gas economy suffered as well because you never got it really back online. And so these are the little things where, like, just dropping like 1,000 minerals on spines, it's a long-term saving plan for you, honestly. It's not about much else. It's just about making sure that you stay alive. Really good game otherwise. I think just, yeah, having some queens here, because you had queens when I think the first run by happened. What was the go here? Where did these queens go? We're only on 2 queens. We never replaced them. And that's how this got aboard. So at this stage with the larvae you're floating, the queens really aren't that necessary for the injects. it would be a good idea to move them to an outward base. So watch this, right? How quickly the zealots get us around, and they knock this out. And then they move on to this one's already half dead before they move on. So having the spines all in a cluster is a lot better. Obviously, if they're going for more adept play and they shade back, they can obviously kill the drones here. But zealots are just a really nice chunky unit that's good at this sort of stuff. So yeah, I think all in all you played really well. We really just need to, as we're going through our injects, maybe developing a slower way to take like I talked about, BE, bang bang, take those, and then one SDDD, right, one SDDD, right, and now you know in like 25 seconds or something you'll have those gases saturated and you won't have to worry about it again. If you just had the gas economy, you could have been pumping out insane amount of lurkers or broodlords, whatever you wanted. You could have ended this game like 10 minutes ago. You could have ended it now. But this fight also is garbage. Roaches not having speed is garbage, but we got them late enough that it was probably kind of awkward and you weren't thinking about speed. But a lot of things in here were really good. I would just be more careful in the future about going to 90 drones on the back of absolutely no units, because your opponents aren't always going to let you get away with that. Absolutely not. So yeah, good game.